Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for sharing some time, your valuable time, with me as I continue my coverage of Stuka Leader and its various expansions. We are now up to expansion number 6, which is simply titled, What If? ... What if? So this is going to be dealing with, I think, hypothetical situations that were in World War II. The last expansion went into the Spanish Civil War, so maybe we're getting some what if there as well. As it says here, is going to provide new campaigns, new targets, new bandits, new events, new aircraft, and it lists out some of them, and more. So there's more to be had here. As you can see here, these come in bags, these expansions to the Leader Series. You get a deck of cards that are going to be comprised of the planes and pilots. The pilots and planes are basically on the same card, or tied. The pilot is tied to the plane, or the plane's tied to the pilot. You're going to get some of the new targets and new events. Those are in cards. And then your new bandits and sight encounters are going to be these red counters in here, the blue or your planes. This is a game that is coming from the German perspective. You are commanding German aircraft and controlling that aspect, which is similar to Zero Leader, which was the previous Leader series or Flight Leader series that came out before this. You were covering the Japanese perspective, and before that it was Corsair Leader, which you were covering the United States perspective. So when I say Flight Leader, these are all games that deal with commanding squadrons of aircraft, flight missions, and campaigns during that specific period. This is World War II. There are others in the Leader series, like Spruance Leaders, that kind of go outside the flight. That one's more of a naval control or command and doing missions in the Cold War. There is some flight aspect to it, but that's mostly a naval type of situation. Anyway, I digress. Stuka Leader, expansion number 6. As you can see, the counters come out real easily. I mean, these poked out in the bag here. So they're relatively pre-rounded. You don't need to clip them. They're good thickness. They're good clarity, but we'll get to that when we get inside the bag. This is Stuka Leader. What is that about? Well, that is Stuka Leader right there. This is a game designed by Chuck Seegert, who's also the designer of Zero Leader, which is, you know, a continuation of the Leader series, which originated by Dan Verssen, which is the Dan Verssen of Dan Verssen Games, which are the publishers of this game and were kind enough to send this to me. So a shout out and a thank you to them and to Dennis. You know who you are. I'll put a link to my unboxing and overview of this game, which talks a little bit about the Leader series and goes through the rule book and talks a little bit about how this game is played. So if you're unfamiliar with the Leader series or Stuka Leader, check that out. Now into the bag, which is what you really want to see here. And I'm going to have to be careful because a lot of the stuff is already popping out as we speak. It's just dying to get to the game table right there. They're just jumping off the counter sheet. So there you have it, Stuka Leader number 6, What If? You know, I really don't know what's in here. The other ones, you know, one was Eastern Front. Well, there was 2 that were Eastern Front, 2 that were Mediterranean, 1 that was Spanish Civil War. This one, I'm kind of going to be surprised, I guess, what is in this one. And I got to be careful because, as you see here, the counters are already off the sheet. This shows you how easy they come off. So you get a real good thickness there. I like their counters. They're nice and thick. They're clear. Oh, and upside down sometimes. I can't believe they sent me upside down counters. Maybe I need to write to DVG. So on the front are usually bandits. So this is who you might be encountering. They're the bad guys in this case, or, you know, if these are the allies. So, but they're the bad guys because we're doing it from the Germans' perspective. And then the back is usually the sight, like if there's something that's going to be on the ground that you're encountering, anti-aircraft or something like that. So let's see what these cards are. So there's your counter sheet. So that's what survived or did not survive. Here's all the other counters that are in here. As you can see here, nice little assortment of those. And these are your planes, so they usually don't have a lot of information. They're just there to indicate where you're at on the map as you're approaching the target and leaving the target. These do have a lot of information on them because this is going to tell you what your hit, how what it rolls to hit, and how much damage you can take and stuff like that. So there you have it. And see, that's and this is just one side. That's if it's a banded. This is if it's a sight. So there's some 75 millimeter anti-aircraft gun right there. So there you go. So there's some of the counters there. Let's put those over on the counter sheet. And so you get 3 campaigns. They're on thick stock. They're single-sided because you're going to keep this off the side of the board because you need to keep track of recon and intel as you're doing the campaign. You're going to start off by picking whether you wanted a short, medium, or long campaign, which is tell you how many days you're going to have and how many victory points you need to get to have a good evaluation. So this one you need to have 23 plus to get great. Here you need 47 plus if you're doing the long campaign, and if you do less than 20, you're dismal. So that's your rating. This is a solitaire game, so you're trying to collect victory points to see what your rating is overall. The campaigns are going to tell you what kind of bandits are there, what kind of special weapons, what is your available aircraft, any kind of special rules that go with this, and any kind of special fuel or op points you're going to get. This is kind of a currency. SO is kind of a currency that you can upgrade or promote your pilots to have better pilots or get better skills or whatever to kind of buy into it to make your life easier, right, for these different missions. Here you get 50 because it's going to be longer, so you're going to need that. You're going to need more of those points to augment your campaign or your capability. So here we got the tide turns 1945. So this is a what-if scenario. What if the amazing aircraft Germany had on its drawing boards were available to turn the tide? So you're going to get some new aircraft here. So this is probably the ME-262 was a jet fighter. I think so was the... Yeah, I'm not sure, but I know the 262 was a jet fighter. So you're going to get some of their more advanced aircraft in this scenario. This scenario here is striking out against the British capital. Had not happened since 1940, 41 now. So Germany attacks 1946. I don't know. I have to read up on that, see what that's about. This one is attacking the U.S., 1947. Here we go. Based in Cuba, German aircraft attacked the American homeland. Look at that. Wow. Look at those targets there. Interesting. So you get some hypothetical situations here. And, of course, you're going to get what bandits are available, special rules, available aircraft. That's cool. So here you go. So you get 3 hypotheticals here. One that looks like it's kind of based on having advanced technology. One is attacking Britain after the war. And one is attacking the United States after the war. I guess maybe the war ends a little bit differently in these hypothetical situations. So there's your what-if scenarios. Let's get to the cards, which I imagine is going to have probably some new aircraft in here, because each one of these expansions gives you a ton of new aircraft each time. Now, when you get new aircraft, you're getting the pilot, and so you're getting 3 cards per aircraft, because the pilot starts off, like this pilot here starts off at newbie, goes to green, goes to average, goes to skilled, goes to veteran, and then goes to legendary if they live that long. So you get, so you have like 6 levels, so 3 cards to represent those levels. You've got your pilot, you got your plane, so they're tied to this plane. This is the capability of the plane, and then this is the capability of the pilot, basically tracking your stress. This game is basically a pilot management game. You're managing your pilots, their stress levels, and sending them out on different missions in a campaign. So there's several of these for the new planes here. And then there'll be a counter that represents like that plane right there. Here we go. There's that. Oh, that's a different plane. My bad. It's this plane right here. Anyway, so there'll be a counter that represents it. So it looks like a lot of cards, but there's really only there's 3 cards for each pilot. So with that plane, so that's that one right there. So, well, that's actually the plane, but is that the pilot? Nope. Still striking out. There we go. There it is. Now we're there. Now we're cooking. So there's the counter that goes along with that pilot there. Fun, fun, fun. All right. So there you have a lot of new pilots and planes. Then you're also going to get some new events. Events affect, pre-target, over the target, after the target type thing. You get 1 new event there, and then you get some new targets. So now we're going up. Ooh, got 4 new targets. London, Berlin Defense, Front Lines, and New York. Look at that. We get a New York target, number 66. So what does that tell you? That is for 12 victory points. Wow, that's huge. It tells you how to do the recon and intel track, which is down here on the campaign. It tells you over the target, it's going to have 2 sights, which is these back part of the bogey counters, and then 2 bogeys, which are the bandits that are on the front side of those. Well, front and back, depending on how you look at it, right? Then you have the approach. That's over the target. That's over the approach. So that's how you set up for attacking the target or your mission. You've got any special rules here as well. And then, of course, that's the target. Because when you're doing the game, you're going to pull out all these cards. When you're setting up the campaign, you're going to pull out all these numbers here out of the target deck. And when you draw for a target for each mission, you'll draw from that deck, and that's where you're going. And so then you'll set up the target, you do the mission, you manage the stress level of the pilots and arm the planes, all that fun stuff, and then rinse and repeat until you finish the campaign, whether it's short, medium, or long. So there you have it. That is what you get in a bag. It's kind of hard to do all this here with all those counters all over the place. That is what you get in a bag of number 6, which is What If for the expansion for Stuka Leader. There you go. How's that look? Do a little bit different that way. Love to know your thoughts on it. What do you think about this game, about this system, about the leader system, especially since it's kind of evolved since Zero Leader. It's getting a little bit more detailed and add a little bit more complexity. This whole what if scenario, what do you think about this stuff? I mean, the Tide Turn sounds like a potential what if, but the other two seem a little bit more hypothetical, a little bit more exaggerated, but who knows? Maybe it's fun. Anyway, that's what I have for you today. Thank you so much for stopping by. Have a good one. Take care. Thanks for watching.